Welcome to the Stay Lit with the Executive Deputy Chairperson of the NYDA Board. My name is Sibulaisi Pieha, and I'm a specialist for special projects in the Office of the Executive Deputy Chairperson of the NYDA Board.
I am Esihle Mhluzi, and I will be co-facilitating today's session with Sibu.
This is the fourth session of our Stay Lit with the Executive Deputy Chairperson, and we're particularly excited for this session because this is a project that is very close to the Executive Deputy Chairperson's heart. So before, we've had sessions where we had involved other sectors, but this one is a project that we birthed in the office, so we're particularly excited. And speaking of the Executive Deputy Chairperson, let's not waste any more time and get straight into the session. Let's welcome the Executive Deputy Chairperson, Ms. Karabo Mohali, to give us the welcome and introduction of our guests.
Thank you very much, Sibulaisi and Esihle. And let me greet the panelists, Prof. Helene, all the way from the University of Sao Paulo in Brazil, as well as our Fantastic Four. So we call them the Fantastic Four because these are the four young people that were the first cohort to travel all the way to Brazil, supported by the National Youth Development Agency to go and undergo a summer school that focused on agricultural tropical systems in Brazil. They'll tell you more about it later in the session. My responsibility today is just to welcome all of you who have joined in live from different platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and those of you that will, of course, join us at a later stage. We want to officially welcome you to the Stay Lit session. As Sibulaisi would have said, this has been a passion point for our office, particularly because we believe that food security needs to be prioritized by young people. We always argue that in South Africa, in Africa, and the world over, you've got a very agile and youthful population. And therefore, it begs us to actually focus on the sustainable development of all our corners of the world, whether you are in Brazil, whether you're in South Africa, or any part of the world where you are located. So it is a passion point of ours to ensure that young people do participate actively in the agricultural sector. So we reached out to the University of Sao Paulo, who have been fantastic partners, who have been doing quite a great deal of work with them on BRICS and even other exchanges. So we reached out to them. They're hosting a summer school that focuses on agricultural systems. And we said we want to bring young people from South Africa to come and learn, different skills, expertise, and technical knowledge on different agricultural systems. And they were more than keen, to have, young South Africans traveling all the way to Brazil. So today's session is actually more important because you've got the faces of young people that actually went to Brazil. So we want to appreciate them for actually availing themselves at this point to come and share their experiences on how that entire exchange program was like. What is it that they've learned, and what advice would they give to young people who have an interest in going into the agricultural sector, but most so actually joining this exchange program to travel all the way to Brazil? So the National Youth Development Agency will be supporting young people to travel all the way to Brazil. So the NYDA will be paying for your accommodation, will be paying for your flights, and other top-ups that we can definitely not mention. But we just want to encourage all young people who have an interest in agriculture and might, want to go into the space or even want to learn more about it. The great part about being a young person is that you don't need to have it all figured out. You need to be able to expose your mind to different sectors. I, for one, studied marketing in my undergraduate, but I had an interest of doing my master's in development studies. So there is a plethora of opportunities that are there in the world as well as in South Africa. And the NYDA is bringing those opportunities at your doorstep. And we're saying to all young people that have joined, those that have not joined, those that might have an interest in future to join, that the NYDA is definitely there to support you in your future endeavors. And we want to wish you all of the best. And we do hope that we've got as many applications as possible. We have been building a case to the University of Sao Paulo that we actually need more young people that come from South Africa, because there is such a great interest that we have seen in the past year. And if you don't flood the application system or the applications, then it might mean that perhaps we're not being honest when we said there's a plethora of young people from South Africa that actually have an interest in agriculture and would want to learn from the one country, which is Brazil, that is a pioneer and is actually leading in agri-tech and what they call agronomics. So with those few words, ladies and gentlemen, young people of South Africa, we're saying that this is your opportunity to travel and jet off to Brazil. I wish I had an interest, Prof. I don't have any background in agriculture, but I'm hoping that if I do apply as well, you can consider my application, as a young person who's got a marketing background. But we want to appreciate all of our panelists and more so the University of Sao Paulo for availing themselves, their resources, their time to have an engagement with young people that are located in South Africa to tell them more about this amazing opportunity. Thank you so much to Esihle and Sibolaisi for steering us in today's Stay Lit. I'll see you on the other side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karabo, for that beautiful introduction. I hope this session can be an informative one. I hope that many of you would heed the call and take this opportunity, because I believe this is an incredible opportunity, and even greater that in this session we get to hear from members from the first cohort to tell us about their experiences. These are individuals who not only participated but successfully completed and obtained their certificates. So I think it's very incredible that we get to hear from them. But before we get to hear from them, I think it's important to also briefly learn what the contents of the summer school are. So allow me to please call upon the President of the International Relations, Prof. Helene, to give us a presentation on the overview of the summer school. Over to you, Prof.
It is a great pleasure for me to be speaking to you, to give an overview and to invite you to participate to the summer school that happens here in the University of São Paulo, in the Agriculture College Luiz de Queiroz. My name is Elaine Carrer. I am the coordinator of the summer school. And also, I'm part of the International Relations Office that we have here. And so for me, it is a great, great pleasure to be able to talk to you. And hopefully I can convince you to apply and to come to visit us and participate in this course that we have been preparing to give you the best of what we have in how we do tropical agriculture. And in Brazil, and we are one of the largest country for food production. And so this course has been prepared to you. And so I'm very happy to have more students from South Africa. We had very talented students last year, so it was wonderful to us to receive. I will say by the name I used to call them, so Shaba, Natalie, Bridget, and Hanshu. So it was great to have you here, and I hope we are going to have more students this year. So this program, it is the tropical bio-based production system, and we try to give an overview about agriculture and also animal science, economies. So it is a possibility that we try in only 2 weeks. So the students participating here, they can tell you that it is very intensive 2 weeks. So because we try to accomplish as much as we can to give you a very broad idea and take to your country, and hopefully you can use this learning in your day by day, in your studies and your professional, in your future. And so, and hopefully we can have you here for longer time. Hopefully maybe you come back and you can continue studies here in your master or doctor degree, or even maybe doing something else. So I wanted to say something like how you should apply. We have a form, and it is a website that you can put your documents. We need your passport copy and some documents that is required. And so I hope the NYDA is going to select some of you, because like last year we had many applications and it was great. It was very exciting to receive so many applications, and probably this year is going to have even more. And so we how we are going to do. I don't know, maybe I can do a small presentation. Is it fine if I present some slides? Let's see if I will be able to do this. So just one moment. Mhm. Mm. Before I have done well, let's see. I'll do this again. Mm. Well, let's see. No.
While Prof is trying to find her presentation, I'd just like to urge everyone watching, this is your time to ask as many questions as you want. So in our comment section, please just write your question, whoever it is directed to. It could be a general question, it could be to a specific person, but please don't be shy. I think it's very, very important to get as much information as you can now, so you know all about the program, and perhaps you can be the one that's chosen. So Prof, if you're ready with your presentation.
And I don't know why. Yeah, I was able to share before. No.
Can we revert back to your presentation later? Is that possible?
Yeah, probably. So I don't know. Maybe we can do this. We can do this later. Maybe do I share slides? Maybe no.
There's a present option at the bottom. Can you
Yes,
see
I
it?
have done. Then is share the screen, right? Let's see if maybe my screen is not. No, it is all here.
Prof, can we continue with the
I
program, and
think
then
it
just
is
before the
fine.
Q&A session? Is it fine? Are
Is
you
it
willing?
okay now?
No, we're not seeing it on our screens.
No?
No, ma'am.
Well, it's saying here that it's sharing.
There it is. I think it's coming to. Okay, not anymore.
Oh, it was
But
going
then
on?
it stopped. Yes.
Okay, let's do
Prof,
it
can
again.
we have the presentation just before the Q&A session? Is that possible? And then we have
Yes.
the rest. Fantastic Four speak now.
Okay.
Is that possible? All right. Thank you so much, Prof. So while Prof tries to find a presentation, I'm a big advocate for lived experience. I believe that it is imperative that we hear from the people who actually lived this journey and who've been through the program to for us to get the primary information from them. So this next part of the program is especially for you who'd want to be part of the second cohort to hear what the other people have been through, what they experienced, how they got involved, and what you could potentially expect. So allow me to first call upon the first speaker of the Fantastic Four, Mr. Khomotso Ranchu. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Program Director. Can you all hear me? Thank you so much. I would like to greet and thank the team, the NYDA, the Executive Deputy Chairperson Office and her team for this wonderful opportunity that we had to experience in Sao Paulo in Brazil to go represent South Africa for the summer school. Thank you so much. I would like to just give a short presentation of how was the journey in Brazil, how I got identified, how I knew about the applications, and even how was the culture of Brazil, the highlights of the program, and also not to mention and to follow how did it benefit me in the journey of being to Brazil and going to study tropical bio-based production systems. Thank you so much. Can you go to the second page, Mr. Andile? Is everything okay? Yes, so who is Khomotso? Khomotso in the agricultural sphere, he has an honors in agricultural management, which he obtained in the University of Technology. So basically, this is me. And how did I get into agriculture? Okay, basically, I wasn't a type of technical person that loved hard studies like physical sciences. So there was a teacher that identified me when I was doing grade 11. They saw that our marks were not great when it comes to physical sciences. So when we were doing grade 12, our matric, she approached us and said, why don't we come and join agriculture? So I went there, studied agriculture, then passed it with at least a level 6. So that was an honor for me. So it was that's how I actually fell in love with agriculture. Thank you so much. Mr.
Thank you,
Ndile.
Khomotso. Are you continuing, Khomotso? Can you hear me?
To continue, while Mr. Andile is switching to the next slide.
Sure.
The next question is, how did I find out about the summer school? Okay, I can hear you. Okay, thank you so much. How did I find out about the summer school? Okay, it was a very beautiful journey. I found out about the summer school through the Uncommon Capital Startup event hosted by Mr. Tobile Moshwana in Bloemfontein. Basically, that's where I was pitching for a potential farm that I wanted to buy. So I went to Mr. Tobile Moshwana's Startup 30 to ask for what's this for, not literally for the full amount of funding, but just a partial part of funding. So that's where Mr. Bulaisi and Ms. Margaret identified me, and they told me that look, there's a program that we're running for Brazil that I think you might be a potential candidate for you to actually go represent South Africa. So that's how basically I got exposed to the summer school. Can I get the following slide? So basically, how was the application program? We applied, like Prof. Elaine said, you get an application form online. They request you to submit your transcript, motivational letter, a recommendational letter from maybe one of the people that you know that you worked with, a certification of complete vaccination and yellow fever, and also your passport. And remember, one thing they want, I think it's you should also be enrolled in your studies, and preferably postgraduate and masters, but they do take even undergrad students. So the highlights from the program was we had an overview of this following: biodiversity on agricultural regions of Brazil, animal production in the topics, natural resources, how to utilize them in an efficient way, biomass and bioenergy production systems, management of agricultural landscape, water management on biomass production, food technology on tropical plants, biotechnology applied to biomes production, social issues on rural environment, and tropical bio-based economy. So basically, those were the highlights of the program. How was the culture of Brazil? So basically, Brazil people are very, very welcoming and heartful. We got to experience a lot of different dishes that we don't have in South Africa. I don't know if my colleagues, the Fantastic Four, can remind me of the other dishes, but some of them, I don't remember what do they call it, but yes. But one thing I should advise you on is when you go to Brazil, you're gonna find beans in almost every dish. You're gonna find what we call it brown beans. You're gonna find beans in every dish. So you better prepare yourself the next cohort that when you go to ISALC, the College of Agriculture, one of the dishes that you're gonna have, it's always gonna have beans. Thank you so much. How did I benefit from the summer school, and how did I incorporate it in my work back at home? So basically, in self-development, it boosted my confidence in the agricultural environment, and it also made me be competitive to my peers, even through job interviews, which right now I'm currently employed at the Department of Agriculture as an AAP in Bethlehem. And also, I have a newborn company called AgriCast Advisory Services, as you can see on my head, which was inspired by the summer school. So what we do at AgriCast Advisory Services, we help clients with business plans, technical advice, animal production planning, all the management that comes with that comes in the agricultural sphere. Why would I encourage young people to apply? Guys, we have to explore. Our age right now allows us to go explore, take risks, learn more, build relationships, and also to not fall back and regret while you're old that you wanted to travel but you didn't have a chance. So right now, what you should do, just expose yourself in the world. You'll never know what opportunity that might bring you and what benefits it might bring you. So my advice for you guys is just go explore, apply, try hard, even other internships, other international scholarships that can come, just apply, guys, so that we can build a better relationships amongst our countries, especially in the BRICS relationship. So this is just the basic gallery that I had to attach on my presentation. I don't have a lot of pictures that I saved. I just lost a few of them, but I think the last picture is the one that built the next slide that built quite a good relationship and a heartful um, team. Yes, this is a picture that shows Miss Margaret on the middle from the right side between Natalie and Brigitte, and next to me is Mr. Bulaisi. That's the team that actually went with to Brazil, and they were, I can say, they were babysitting us in a good way. So yes, thank you so much to Ms. Helene and Izalk for accepting my application. And I would like to thank the Deputy Executive Office of the NYDA for the opportunity that you guys blessed us and identified me at the Startup 30. And I wish the next cohort can go and experience better and come and make South Africa benefit in a more brighter way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Khamoto. That's such a beautiful, beautiful presentation. I'm looking at the pictures and I'm like, I should have been there. Everything looks so amazing. This could be you, live streamers. This literally could be you. So ask those questions. Apply. I mean, this is a beautiful opportunity. And it doesn't come by very often. So allow me to please call upon Miss Bridget Mkondo to tell us about her experience as one of the Fantastic Four. Over to you, Bridget.
Thank you so much, Esihle. Good day, everyone. My name is Bridget Mkondo, and I'm from Limpopo. I hold a master's degree in chemistry from the University of Limpopo. So how do I find myself in agriculture? So after my contract with my previous employer came to an end in 2020 years. So I found myself back at home in Limpopo, and instead of just sitting, I said, okay, let me make myself useful. So I decided to rehabilitate my late father's backyard vegetable farm. So into working in the farm, I saw an opportunity that lies within the agricultural space. And 1 year for me was March 2021, which is last year. And Sao Paulo for me came at a time where I was transitioning from having made that decision of focusing on my agribusiness for food. So I'll great NYDA team for selecting me for this opportunity, because it indeed validated my idea, because at some point I felt like crazy. Am I taking the right road? Because I have a background in academia, but this opportunity validated my idea that indeed I'm on the right track. So how did I find out about this opportunity? So there's a WhatsApp group where different people share opportunities. So different opportunities here. So that's where I saw the opportunity. So in terms of the application process, for me, it was a pretty much simple process, and I would like to focus on the motivation letter because I think that's what's going to make your application stand out. So I encourage you guys to just share your story and don't hold anything back, because you don't know how the person who's going to read your story will receive your story. So just be as honest as possible. Just narrate. I had my story like I'm narrating now. And yeah, I found myself in the program. Also, just mention how being part of this program is going to benefit and grow your career, and also how you're going to contribute back at home when you come back from Sao Paulo. So my highlight for me for this trip was visiting medium-sized enterprises in Brazil, which is Usina Granelli, Big Sugar, and also a traditional Brazilian beer called cachaça from sugarcane, and also Cowpig, which is a meat production enterprise. So those two stood out for me because as someone who's in agribusiness, I found them relatable. Like visiting your big corporate and international companies, I related to this too because I saw something that is from where I was sitting. And one thing that we learned at Cowpeak is that they compete with big international companies by the product that they put out there. So they make sure that, and that's how they are able to compete in the market. And that for me was a takeaway. And when I brought it back to South Africa, because when you're starting out in agribusiness, there's this fear that how are you going to compete with your big corporate companies 110 years old or your big international companies. For me, that statement that for me it was making sure that we put quality product out there, and that is how we are going to be able to connect. And in terms of the Brazilian culture, just teach yourself a bit the language that was a mission, and I'm sure my colleagues can also add just a few Portuguese words, and yeah, even if you get selected a new language. And in terms of coming back and applying whatever we learned from the program, one thing that we learned at Cowpeak is that to make sure that they produce quality meat, and to make sure that they always produce quality meat. Like if somebody buys their meat today and they come back after 5 years, they'll still get in quality meat. They have standardized their procedure so that their livestock receives almost the same nutrition so that they can always have the same quality all the time. And for me, that is something that we are aiming to apply in our enterprise. But of course, it requires a bit of time. So we are aiming to make sure that we standardize our procedure. For instance, into tomato production. So we have to make sure that if a person buys our tomatoes today and they come back after 3 years, they'll always get the same quality of tomato. And also part of this program has my confidence, like Homoto mentioned. I have applied for many accelerator programs, some which are international, and I'm currently enrolled in almost 3 international accelerator programs. And then, yes, lastly, I'll encourage all of you guys to apply as the program is designed in such a way that everyone, it caters for people who are in academia in terms of research. It also caters for people who are in government for policy development, and it caters for people who are also in agribusiness like myself. So I'll encourage you guys to apply, and yeah, all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bridget. Bridget spoke about something so important, how the issue of the standardized procedure and how she can now come back into South Africa and plow it into South Africa. So I think that that's the beauty of the program as well, that you learn things, you learn different things, new things, and you're able to come back and apply it this side and be successful in it. And also how it opens doors for other platforms, for other opportunities. So I think, man, this is a crazy opportunity. I'm just blown away. So thank you so much, Bridget, for that. Please allow me to call upon Mr. Dimpo Xaba to continue to make us jealous as to why we weren't part of the Fantastic Four. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much, Esihle. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the NYDA, the Executive Deputy Chairperson, for the opportunity once again. And Prof Elaine, thank you very much for a good hospitality in Brazil. You know, it will go a long way. My name is Dimpo Xaba. I was one of the fortunate 4 which were accepted into the program, and the program was funded by the NYDA. Just a background on myself. I'm an agricultural graduate. from Tshwane University of Technology. I did my master's there in agronomy. So I'm in the field. I'm also a lecturer at the university. I teach vegetable productions. So how it came about? The application process was quite a bit hectic. Dealing with Sibulaisi and Margaret every day. You know, Margaret takes no nonsense, so it's very strict. So I would like to encourage you to take this opportunity because no one would have thought that me, Khumotso, Natalie, and Bridget would have went and participated in Brazil. So I would like to encourage you to apply. And when you apply, please don't just send application for a mere fact that you are sending application. Make sure that you know you share your experience in the sector, how you think that this program is going to assist you. So I'm just going to share a little bit of the success stories that more especially on my side, how this program assisted me. So I guess when I was in Brazil, the NYDA would have published in social media newsletters. Then I had applied for a state farm of about 165 hectares in the capital city in South Africa. So, through my participation in this project, it opened my eyes and it also assisted me in terms of how to prepare better for the interviews, because as well you go through a rigorous process before. I think you go through about 3 committees from the regional level, the provincial level, and the national level. So when I came back from Brazil, I got awarded a farm. So that is one of the highlights and the success stories that we achieved through this program. And I would like to thank the NYDA and Prof there for contributing towards that success. And it did not stop there, because as a young person, you are given a farm, you don't have resources even to operate the farm. So what was quite hectic when I came back, I needed to source partners to make sure that this success story does not die, because we have a history of people be awarded farms and they end up not doing anything in the farm. So I had to make sure that I keep the momentum of the farm. I keep the same production that I found in the farm. So I'm happy that I recently had my first harvest of potatoes that we had planted last year September in the farm. So we are currently preparing the field to plant wheat. As you know that we have a global demand of wheat because of the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. So we hope to get more return on that. Okay, let's try to come back. Make sure that the application process it's your strong point. If you don't sell yourself, the NYDA or a prof there is not going to know you. So sell yourself. Make sure that your motivation is lit. Now, one of the highlights from the program was that I was looking into the issues that we are going to, or the technologies that we are going to see in Brazil that can assist us in terms of responding to our current problems in South Africa. For sure, Prof, we can see some of our presenters here, they continue to, like Bridget, presentation, sometimes the signal is bad because we have a challenge of load shedding, and it becomes very difficult to operate a large production in the farm if you don't have electricity. So I was looking into, alternative ways of producing power, not only power, Prof, and fuel. So what I have learned in Brazil is that you are not relied on OPEC fuel system. Brazil is self-sustained through its own production of fuel through, sugarcane and other waste products, which I thought, if we can learn these skills, we'll be able to come back home and respond to the challenges of load shedding, the challenges of high fuel price. So indeed, this program responded to our current challenges. So when young people are applying, they should be thinking of that in mind, that they are not just going to Brazil to take pictures. I know who also like pictures, so he will share a lot of pictures. So please prepare your application and make sure that it's the strongest application. So in terms of culture, okay, let me start. The prof is always on time. So if you are going to participate in this USP program, make sure that you wake up early. It doesn't matter. Prof will release us late at night, but time management is key. So make sure that you don't arrive late to sessions. If you are going to the field, the buses, they are going to leave you and you are going to miss out. So make sure that time management, the program was well organized. All the speakers, they spend the entire day. They don't just come and leave. So they are always on time. So make sure that your time management is perfect. So once again, thank you very much to the NYDA, and Prof sent our greetings to USP. We really appreciate, and we hope that maybe we can increase the number, maybe at least, so that more young people in South Africa can be able to come and gain the knowledge that we have gained. And who knows, come next year, this time, there will be more success stories. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much
you.
for that beautiful presentation. We'd like to commend you for all that you've achieved and adhering to these life-changing remnants that come from this experience. So thank you so much for sharing your experience. Before I call on the last speaker, which is Miss Natalie, I'd like to tell the live streamers, I'm seeing your comments, they are popping up on the screen. Thank you so much on the screen, sorry. Thank you so much for that. Please keep the comments coming. We love to hear from you. We want to hear those questions. We want to answer those questions. We're here to engage. So please don't be shy to do that. Miss Natalie, I'd like to call over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Program Director. And good afternoon to the Deputy Chairperson, Ms. Graba Mohale, and to the platform, the NYDA team in her office. Thank you so much for this opportunity to address the platform and to the viewers out in South Africa. My name is Natalie van Wyk, and my story is a bit of a me and Ms. Pia, we had quite some laughs about how I actually ended up in the program. But just to give you a small background or brief background on my history and how I got into agriculture. I did my undergraduate studies at the University of Stellenbosch. I did a bachelor's of science in agriculture, majoring in animal science. And then 4 years after that, I went back to university full time, and I went to go do a postgraduate diploma in aquaculture. So that's my background. How I got into agriculture was I applied for veterinary science, and upon you learn from your setbacks, and it took me on a new road, on a new journey, and I have been grateful ever since. So how did I find out about the summer school? Now, here's where the story starts and the journey as to how I got to this point in my life. So the journey started with me actually seeing someone's WhatsApp status. And it was a colleague of mine. She shared on her status about this opportunity to participate in the summer school. But then when I went to my colleague, and they said to me, no, but it's for unemployed people. And I was like, and I went in and I zoomed in on this screenshot because it's been screenshotted quite a few times. So the quality of the screenshot was really poor. And I asked two people, I remember asking two people, please, can you make out what is written at the inquiries? Whose email address is that? And it took some time. It took, there was a point where we were saying that it's an 8 and it's not an 8. And I was like, is it a B? Maybe it's a B, a capital B. So this was quite an adventure to get to. And then I started calling, then I went on Google because I was determined to find out about this opportunity, about how I can participate, how I can apply. And I phoned the satellite offices here in the Northern Cape. And then I phoned the satellite offices. Well, it's still in the Northern Cape. I phoned the satellite offices here in Oakip, in close to Springbok, where I stay. And then I phoned the one in Kimberley. And eventually I was just like, no, wait, I need to phone the Joburg office because they will know how to direct me. And after phoning them and speaking to switchboard while I'm waiting, while the phone is ringing, I'm thinking, how am I going to structure this to get to the most relevant person that can assist me in finding out how I can apply? And when I got through to switchboard, they first listened to me and they were like, yeah, I think I know who you need to speak to. And they put me through, and the next person put me through. And finally, I got to Miss Pia, and I was like, thank you, Lord. This, I've reached, I've reached the person that I'm supposed to be speaking to. And yes, and the rest is history. And I mean, I can only be grateful for the opportunity that has arisen from my determination to apply for this for this program. How was the application process? Well, the application process was actually, compared to what I had to go through to actually get to Miss Pia, the application process was relatively easy. So this was going downhill now. I reached the peak of my determination. The application process, there's two applications that I just want the viewers to be aware of. There's the application that you would need to apply to the university itself, as well as the application then that will be available to you from the NYDA organization. So the one from the university is to get entrance to the program, and then the one from NYDA is for the funding to participate. So you need to do both applications in order to qualify to go over, to form part of the experience. Then the highlights of the program, and I have to say that there was my colleagues that went with me, the participants, the Fantastic Four that have mentioned their highlights. To me, I would say that it was seeing the implementation of a zero waste agricultural industry. Zero waste, when I speak about zero waste, it is them using the entire product up until there's nothing left. There's everything is used within the process. And this makes it so much more sustainable. It shows you the long-term thinking, the planning, the industry that is on the farm, making your value-added products while growing your produce. The whole concept of a zero-waste agricultural industry just amazed me. It broadened my horizons personally. And then I'm jumping around now because I'm so scared of time. But then, how was the culture of Brazil, and how did I adapt? And honestly speaking, I didn't need to adapt because the people, the culture, the people were so inviting. The friends that I've made as part of the program, the Brazilian students that were part of the program, they ensured that we were so welcomed at their university, in their country. They ensured that we would explore historical sites, which I was unfortunately not a part of, but my colleagues were. I think they went to the museum. I was not part of that trip. I'm still regretful of that because I was so caught up on the final evaluation and preparation for the final evaluation that I'm someone that I overstress things, unfortunately. But I figured that I would be back because the whole experience excited me to the point where I was eager on applying for further studies. So I figured I would be back to and see those sites all in good time. And how did it benefit me to form part of the summer school? There was quite a few things, but my biggest benefit was observing how Brazilian people have adapted production practices to include the manufacturing of value-added products on site, thereby being more financially efficient, sustainable, since they think and plan for the long-term production, and effective management practices that allow for an all-in-one production site. I've only thought of ways to use kelp in how I basically, what I'm trying to mention here is that how I incorporate it into my work. And as aquaculture scientist in the Northern Cape Department of Agriculture, I look at biomass that is aquatic related. So I've looked at kelp and how kelp can be incorporated with biomass production, and I've only researched it at this point in time. Implementation is lacking at this point in time. We are looking to implement the use of kelp as a bioenergy, a biofuel, or even just as cosmetics. But the quantity that washes out onto our beaches is what we are looking at to make use of, and to use what is considered by our locals as waste, we could make use of for the betterment of our economy here as in South Africa. And then why I would encourage young people to apply. And I wrote this down because I really want young people to understand that, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I have applied to various institutes for a master's degree, and this opportunity has opened a door for me thanks to the NYDA, the team at NYDA, the NYDA. The NYDA has allowed me to go and to meet and to engage professors from Izauki. And I now am at a point in my life where I've applied to the University of Sao Paulo for a master's degree. I got accepted. I got the funding. But then due to a change in application, I wanted to, I think I'm a bit too ambitious, but I'm going to try my best, is that I've applied now for a direct PhD to the University of Sao Paulo. And thanks to NYDA for the support, because this is a hurdle that I need to, it's Mount Everest at the moment, but we will climb it and we will overcome. So that's what I'm saying is to the young people, the sky's the limit. The possibilities are endless. Apply for this. Make this a stepping stone, because this is the start to you broadening your horizons to impact the South African agricultural sector in such a way that we're going to make this sector into an industry that is competitive on a global scale. And so please apply, do both applications, know what you need. Don't just submit your application, but be sure that when you submit your application, that all the details in that application is correct, because upon submission, you can't go back and correct it. I am someone that triple checks everything. And so I saved my application and the next day I went through it and I went through it again and I submitted, and I knew that what I submitted was entirely correct. And like my peers said, make sure that you explain your story completely, because this girl from the Northern Cape got an opportunity, and I am forever grateful to the deputy chairperson and her team for what they have allowed to happen to me and my journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for inspiring us with your ambition. So This session is to avoid having to zoom into those screenshots, which is exactly why we must ask as many questions as possible. But before we go into our Q&A session, I'm being told that Prof's presentation is available. So the presentation on the overview from the side of the summer school, from the side of the people in Brazil, we'd like to hear from you, ma'am. Ma'am, please flight your presentation. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I am very actually emotional to listen all the remarks and about the students that participated last year. It is really, it's very, very, very nice to listen you and see that you were able to use what you learn here. So I think it is it's very inspiring, and I think we are achieving our goals to by listening you. Is I think that is very, very, very nice, and I'm very happy to know that the knowledge and what you got here, the experience, is being part of your life. So it is very remarkable. So thank you so much. I'm going to give you some idea about the Agriculture College, what to expect when you come here. So this is Piracicaba. This is the city where the Agriculture College is. So it's a nice city. It has around 4,000 inhabitants. So I think we have this river that crosses the city, and it has a waterfall. So it is why the name Piracicaba in native language means a place where a fish stay, because they don't go up this waterfall. So it is a very nice place for fishing. So the next slide, also you have a view of the city. So it is quite large, and it is a city that likes to welcome students, because we have 5 universities here, some specific courses, but it is a large number of students. So I think it is it's very nice, this relationship of the city and the students. And about the campus, so you see in this picture our administration office, and we have 7 undergraduate programs and more specific graduate programs. So for the 7 undergraduate courses, the largest one is the agronomy. Then we have forest engineering. We have food science. We have environmental managing, economy, and administration, and biological science. And all related to agriculture. And towards the graduate programs, they are more specific. Okay, so all these courses, they are given by professors, which are in 12 departments. So you see in the pictures in the entomology, and one of the class of these the entomology classes on in the summer school was to see one of the very important area that we have is biological control of pests, that is all engaged in the management of the agriculture. And here in this slide, it is showing all the courses, the program, the undergraduate and the graduate programs. So the students coming here, if you wanted to stay longer after the summer school, it is possible. You can take classes, or you can do training in a lab. You can continue, not staying here only for the summer school, but also you can apply to stay longer. So then it's fine, and it gives you an opportunity, since you are here for the summer school, and stay longer. And talking about then the summer school, it is, the name is a special program on agriculture, bio-based production systems that we wanted to highlight the different areas that I'm going to show the next slide. But in this one, I wanted to point out of you, maybe the previous one, you can go back one, please. Yes. So see the data. It's going to be in July 24th until August 4th. So we recommend you arrive 1 or 2 days earlier, because of course there is some kind of jet lag, and it's nicer you arrive at least 1 day earlier. And so this is the website that you can go in, and it's going to have all the information related to the documents for your application. And the deadline is June 9th, because we want to give you time. We are going to have 1 week to make your acceptance letter. So then you may be able to go back to start planning the trip, buy the tickets, and see for accommodations here. So I think at least 1 month is required for all this adjustment. Okay, so we have we try to accomplish these 10 topics in economies, and also try to show you all the biodiversity in agriculture, the regions that what kind of agriculture is the main production in each area of Brazil, in all our different biomes that we have here. So we talk about the natural resources, and how we produce biomass. It was talked here about bioenergy. In Brazil, it is a very important issue about bioenergy and being sustainable. So food technology, and also precision farm, that is being one of the high topic. And also we try to give some social issues on rural environment, that it is one of the areas that we accomplish also in the course. So what is nice about the summer school is that we receive students from different countries. The last one, we had a student from South America, from Colombia. Sometimes we have students also from Chile and Argentina. We have students from the North Hemisphere, so we have students from Norway, from France, from Belgium, sometimes also from Japan. We are expecting students from China this year, and also United States, Germany. So we have been receiving students from different parts of the world, and it is very nice how they integrate with our students in the agriculture college. So I think it is very nice to make new friends and to exchange experience about the college, about their lives, about the agriculture, about all the issues that come out during this day you are here. So I'm very happy to give you this presentation, and I really hope I will welcome you in July. It's very soon. And I think I just have one more slide. I don't know. Or so I think that's it. What I'd like to present. But it's important that you check about the site for the applications, and also in the site you can have there are some pictures, some videos of the previous students here. So this is the 7th edition. We only did not have during the pandemic in 2020. And 2021, it was totally online, also because of the pandemic. And last year was presentially. And now again, it's going to be presential again. So I think it is a great opportunity to make new friends, to visit a different country, to have this experience. And I'm very, very, very happy to see how this course has affected the students last year. So it's nice, and I really hope we will be accomplishing again uh, with this course in July. So if you have questions, I'm very happy to answer. If you have any questions or comments.
Thank you so much, Prof. And I think hearing what the Fantastic Four had to say about the program is very much indicative of how you and your team are. And so we'd like to thank you for all that you've done for the Fantastic Four and for accommodating our people. So now we're moving straight into the Q&A session. The questions will be flighted on screen so everyone can see, and I will then just direct it to anyone can answer, but if it's directed to somebody, then that person can follow through and speak. So Emma has a question, and she says, I'd like to know about the vaccination. Is it yellow fever only or also COVID? Prof, I think this is for you and DC.
Well, it is in the application form, but it is required that you have the vaccination. So far, the COVID has been mild here. The university is not being so restricted as used to be, and so I think it is okay in terms of COVID. But yes, we require the vaccinations that you present a certification. I don't know if it is. I'll let you know if it is require how many doses and everything, but at least 2 or 3 doses, I'm sure that is still required. Yes.
Thank you, Prof. Deboho says, do we buy tickets with our own money? DC?
Thank you very much for the question. The National Youth Development Agency will be paying for all traveling costs for all students that would be selected. So we're going to be selecting 4 young people to be traveling to Brazil. The NYDA will pay for their flight costs, their accommodation, as well as any other extra costs that might be incurred in line with the trip. So the NYDA will be covering all of those costs. Thank you.
Yeah, if you allow me to complement, it's like the summer school, actually there is no cost, but for the accommodation and for the travel tickets and for like transportations and meals, then it is required to be by each participant. So it is very nice that NYDA is doing this for you. I think it is a wonderful opportunity. I really thank you for that, because it helps the students to participate. So thank you very much for what you were doing. All this effort is putting to improve the students there and to make them possible to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Iris Jackson says, hi, if you have completed at the home university, do you still have to provide a letter? DC?
I don't know. Let me just say something. Sure. We have a total, we cannot be larger than 30 students. So what we have done is to accept 15 international students, and also the most of 15 students from our university. We think that it is important that we have this interaction. And so even if we have a little more international students, maybe we can accomplish with the number of students, but we try to make the most of 15 international students. And I think the NYDA does the selection of the students, right?
Correct. So, Ms. DC, do they then have to have the letter? I think Iris was trying to establish that if she completed her qualification at home, does she still need to provide a letter?
Yes, so there is no bypassing of any process. So all of the requirements that are stated on the University of Sao Paulo website need to be met. So that is the bare minimum. So if they are saying they need a motivational letter, you need to submit that motivational letter. If they need a transcript, you need to submit that transcript. And I think it's something that the participants, the Fantastic Four, actually stressed that when you submit an application, do not submit an application for the sake of it, because there are many young people who would want this opportunity. So you don't want to lose out on an opportunity because you did not submit a document that was required. So all of the requirements that are on the website that are listed, the website link has been shared on the NYDA page where we are currently interacting. All of those requirements need to be met for young people to be able to qualify for just a consideration. So it's not even that you are qualifying for entrance, but it's a consideration. It is only when they start to look at the content of your application and why they should choose you that then they actually make the results, or rather the determination whether you should be the young person they choose or they should choose the next person. So young people need to be able to make an effort and submit all required documents to escort the application.
Thank you so much, TC. I think that is clear enough. Tumelo Mate says, I don't have a passport right now. Can I apply?
I think
I'll
maybe I'll jump into that one and
Okay.
respond. Yes, I think you can apply for your application now for without a passport, but I think it's up to the young person to decide if they're going to have their passports done in order to, because we don't know. But I think you'd have enough time once they have selected, because they would have a response from USP by the 15th of June. So between the 15th of June and you leaving for Brazil on the 20th, then you would have ample time enough to go and have your passport made.
Thank you, Jamila, for that question. Is it for everyone or is it only for agriculture students?
We recommend this course to agriculture students. And also, we would like to receive students which are senior, undergraduate, or a master. I think you can get better of what is explained and about the interaction and the discussions on the topics. I don't know, the students, my friends, they participated last year. They can tell you what they felt about, but we recommend for senior, undergraduate, or master students.
Can PhD students apply? I think Prof just answered that question right now, so I think we can move on to the next question. So yes, Nkululeko, the PhD students can apply. How many cohorts will there be in the next intake? You'll correct me if I'm wrong, DC, but I think you did say you're taking another Fantastic Four for the second cohort. Am I correct? Yes. See, even me, I'm here. I am over 35 years of age. And this is a youth program. DC or Sibu?
That is fine. For us, it is no problem of age. That's okay. You should apply.
I was about to say, oh, sorry, Prof. I was about to say that with regards to the university requirements, anybody of any age can be able to apply. So even if you are 70 and you want to apply for the opportunity, you are more than welcome. But unfortunately, for the funding in terms of us supporting your traveling, your accommodation, and other expenses, the NYDA can only cater for those who are under the age of 35.
What are the needed qualifications in order to apply for this program?
How I said, we have only this requirement of being at university, because you need to send a transcript saying that you are enrolled in a university as a student. We prefer students related to agriculture area. That's fine if you are a biology student or chemistry, it is fine too, but as soon as you have the interest in agriculture. And so again, if you we preferentially accept students and like a senior undergraduate master, but that's okay if it is a PhD too. But we don't want it to have to be too broad. So we prefer to have undergraduate and master students.
Thank you, Prof. The two applications for the NYDA funding and the summer school, should it be done at the same time or after being chosen?
I recommend you to check about the documents that they are required for the application, and probably you should apply initially to NYDA. It's very difficult for us to receive a large number of applications if we are not able to select these students will be effectively coming to the summer school. So I think this selection is going to be the NYDA. So I would suggest maybe you apply to NYDA first. So I don't know if it's being this direction you were given to the students, but I think it would be easier for us, because it's very difficult from a large number of applications. We select some students that may not achieve the requirements that the NYDA is requesting.
Hi, Prof. and NYDA. I saw environment management in undergraduate. I'd like to know, does the University of Sao Paulo offer scholarships in undergraduate too?
The University of São Paulo is a public university, so we don't charge tuitions or fees for our students. Although we have a very selective process for the students that they apply to the University of São Paulo. To be a student here, like if you are undergraduate, you have to be through this process, this selection process. But you can come to the University of São Paulo or to the Agriculture College and stay here for up to 1 year doing classes, and as part of as your program while you are enrolled in one of the university in your country. So that is fine. You can stay here for 1 year. There is no cost for the courses, and only for the expenses for the accommodation. Our summer school also offers, we give you a transcript, and the summer school has 60 hours. So you can use the 60 hours that is in your transcript to be used as credit in your university. So if the university accepts these credits made outside, you can use it, because we are going to give you this transcript and a declaration that you have been taking this the summer school, because it is actually a class here. I don't know if it's clear, but if you want some more explanation, I'll be happy to complement.
Thank you. There's some beautiful messages coming in. Mapula says, "Thank you, NYDA, for such an amazing opportunity. Definitely sending in an application inspired by the Fantastic Four." That is lovely to hear, Mapula. Keep those applications coming. Youth Empowerment Organization members will be applying. That is stunning. Lovely to hear. Are there any more other questions? Listen, I'd like to encourage everyone to keep on asking questions. Like Natalie had said, she had to zoom into a screenshot. We don't want you zooming into a screenshot when you have a whole entire platform. Please make use of this platform. Ask as many questions as you want. There is no such thing as a stupid question. Emma says, may I please have the link for the NYDA applications, as I can't find it. I think it will be made available after the session. Am I correct, Sibu?
Yes, that is correct. And I think maybe because of time, we only have 10 minutes until our session is over. I'd just like to round off some of the questions that I think weren't completely answered. So it was the vaccination is the COVID and yellow fever, so it's both. And the yellow fever vaccination has to be done 10 days before you actually leave for Brazil. So I would like to emphasize as well, the process is 2 applications. So last year, as the inquiries person, I had come across applications where people only applied to the NYDA. So I want to emphasize that please apply to the University of Sao Paulo as well, please. So there's 2 links. So the NYDA link has not been released yet. So it will be released after the session on Wednesday. So can we please apply to both of the links? And as well, we're going to be releasing a poster on the NYDA social media platform. So it would be Twitter, your Facebook, LinkedIn, and yeah, I think on what is the other platform? Instagram. So the poster will be available on all the NYDA social media platforms with all the information. So we're going to have a timeline with the opening dates and the closing dates for both the University of Sao Paulo and the NYDA. I think I've covered that, but I think my colleague in the vote of thanks will be able to give us a more breakdown of the closing dates. So I think we're going to carry on and move on to the last item of our session, which would be our vote of thanks from Ms. Nothando Zwane.
Thank you so much, Sibu. Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Nothando Zwane. I'm responsible for research and special projects in the office of the deputy chairperson of the NYDA. I would like to thank all our guests for joining us today on our monthly stay-late session. I would like to thank Professor Helen from University of Sao Paulo, Mr. Humuto Rancho from Free State, Mr. Dimpo Xaba from Northwest, Miss Natalie van Wyk from Northern Cape, and Miss Bridget Mkondo from Limpopo. And guys, a last reminder that the application into the University of Sao Paulo Agricultural Summer School Program are now open and will be closing on the 9th of June. And the NYDA Agricultural Exchange Program Scholarship will open 5 April and closes on 15 May 2023. The poster with the application link will be shared on our NYDA social media platform. Also, guys, we urge you to apply to both program and scholarship. And all the best for your applications. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nothando Zwane. And young people in South Africa, the emphasis has been made. There are 2 links. Please apply to both. And the inquiries will be available. So the email address will be available on the poster that's going to be released on the social media platforms. Please use that email if you need any clarification within your application process. And we're available to assist you. Send in all the questions. Like my co-host said, there are no stupid questions. Send in the questions, inquiries. Please don't wait for the 15th of May to ask an inquiry at 5 to 5 because the application will be closing at 5 p.m. on the 15th of May for the NYDA, but the USP applications will still be opened until the 9th of June Please ask those questions. Please apply. Please include all the motivations. As you have seen, the benchmark has been set high. The Fantastic Four were really a pleasure to work with. I mean, they're always readily available to assist in any way. So please, guys, apply, and hope to see you as our prospective participants of the USP Summer School of 2023. So thank you everyone for joining us. And this is the end of our session, and hope to see your applications there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.